Okay. Hi guys, welcome back to another video. My name is Hazel and I have a blog called Memoirs Daily. And today we're going to be delving into relationships and dating inspired by Valentine's Day. And I have two guests here. I have my friend Shakina. Shakina, introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Shakina. I'm 27 years old. What else should I say about myself?
One fun fact.
One fun fact is I'm currently writing a book, so that's a fun fact about myself.
That's really cool. Yeah. Me and Shakina, we went to school together. So one of my closest friends. And my second guest is Taiwo. Taiwo, introduce yourself.
Yeah, hi. My name is Daniel Taiwo. So I'm not writing any book, but I'm still in school. I'm 25 years old, and I'm turning 26 in a few months, though, around June. And I know Hilzu from when we were in secondary school back in Nigeria. She stays in the and I'm hoping to visit one day.
Yes,
That's it.
that's cool. Yes. So like I said, today we're gonna be talking about dating and relationships inspired by Valentine's Day. And I have four questions for my guests. So we'll just take it into
Yeah.
turn and try and feed off each other's responses. And then hopefully that will be productive for that viewing this. So the first question that I had was, do you feel that dating has become more transactional over the years? Tyra, do you want to start?
I should go first.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I've never been in a relationship, but I've had a few close, I'll say so, close encounters. And okay, I'll say based on the two countries I've stayed in the most, that is Canada and Nigeria. In Canada, it's depending on the girl you meet, but 9 times out of 10, there's still more of a 50-50. I like you, you like me, we vibe, whatever we can do for each other. But in Nigeria, it is straight transactional. Like it's what can you do for me? Mostly from the girl's part, like what can you do for me? And can you like fund my lifestyle kind of thing, you know? But obviously there's still like sometimes pure attraction, you know, or like I like the guy, depending on the girl, right? But most of the times, girls go for pure transactional in Nigeria. And I've only been back home for like about a year, maybe like and a half now. And then it's pure transactional back in Nigeria.
Yeah. What do you think inspires that like transactional kind of style of dating?
In Nigeria, I would say it's mostly the economy. So like most girls like have a Japa mindset, right? They want to like just get out from Nigeria. So for them, their mindset is like they just want to escape poverty. You know, they don't like even the ones that are not poor. It's just like a Nigerian mindset. You know, like no girl wants to be like left behind in a like sticky situation where they look at their friends and their friends are balling, and for them it's like they want to like live that good lifestyle also, right? So, but it also depends because sometimes like it's just a minimum thing. So if let's say she has 4 or 5 different guys to choose between, right, and they're all making good money, she might not necessarily go for the richest guy. She might go for the guy she likes. So it depends. But there's like a bare minimum, I'll say, for most girls in Nigeria. But I'll say it's mostly due to poverty. Yeah. Because Nigeria can be tough. Since I came home, man, I'm not gonna lie. Like, because I stayed in Canada for a long time, I was having a few issues. I was really a bit irritated, but I still like Canada a lot. But I came home, and after a few months, I was like, damn, the heat. I even got sick a few times because of it. Like, yeah, a lot of girls just want to leave, you know, and they're looking for the guy that can take them away. So, yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. What do you think, Shakina?
I think in general, I think relationships have always been transactional, but I think
Yeah.
like see it from two different perspectives. So you have monetary transactions in terms of what can you do for me financially, like what you said about Nigeria. There's a lot of people that have that mentality. If I get into a relationship, I need to make sure that this person is going to provide security for me. So you look at your relationship, you look at dating more so as security. Do you know, well, women anyway. But then the reason why I say that I think it's always been transactional because it's always give and take. You don't go into dating thinking like, okay, that's just it. You're always looking for something that you can get out of it. I think more so now because we have social media, you have things to compare. Like a lot of us now, we want men with a certain salary. We want to make sure that the guy can drive, that he owns his own home. Like we have all these boxes that we want to tick, but that obviously comes from what we're seeing online. At the end of the day, we are comparing what we see on a regular basis. So I think just in general, I think dating has always been transactional, but is in our face, is a lot more overt. But I do think culture and tradition plays a large part of it because if you look at our parents or like my family back home, when they're looking into a relationship, it is really important that them. We have kind of like leeway where defend ourselves, like support ourselves. We can be a lot more independent because we can afford to be. So we can kind of, we don't have the same expectations that probably someone would have back home. So that's what.
Yeah.
If you would agree or.
Oh no, I agree. I feel like in the UK, I think I don't know really about before, but I think before we had a cost of living crisis, I think a lot of people were a bit more comfortable and more free with dating. Similar to what Tyra was saying, like people would just be like, like I'll meet this person and we'll see where it goes. Like if it's a vibe, cool. And if it's not, then that's fine. I feel like over the years, since COVID and then the cost of living crisis on top, I feel like a lot of people have actually made dating more about security, just like Chiquino was saying. It's all about now, like, what do you bring to the table? People like to use this term a lot, like, what do you bring to the table?
Yeah.
And I feel like people just think about kind of like security, and people are now placing a financial kind of responsibility on men to provide. It's almost like if you don't have the means to provide for me, then why am I entertaining you basically? So I feel like dating now is actually putting a lot of pressure on men to financially and bring something, for women to be like, okay, like this makes sense now.
But I don't think that's because of COVID. I think that's because we're getting older. So the expectation is higher because we have a lot more to lose and more to gain as well. Because when we were younger, like when we were in our early 20s, you didn't really care if the person could support you financially. Like obviously you would prefer it, but you were just there to have fun. You were there for a vibe. Now we're approaching our approaching 30. So it's like you're thinking about, is this person going to provide for me and my future child? Is this person going to look after me? Can I get a mortgage with this person? Like like I said, what you're looking for is completely different.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't just say, because when you speak to your aunties or people that are a lot older, when they were dating pre-COVID, they were setting the same expectations.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's true. My mom usually will tell me like, don't date for love. She'll say, what has love got to do with it?
Literally.
There's like you have to find someone who is like financially secure and provide that security. And she's like, if there isn't someone who can guarantee that security, then there's no point. Like, don't bother, type of thing. And I can understand why, because you see certain things happen, even like with your parents and like, how they manage their finances and how they look at like upkeep, and then you would like actually make a decision to be like, okay, that's fair enough. Like I understand now why they're saying X, Y, and Z and saying this instead. So yeah, I do think dating is transactional because if you think about it, if no one's getting anything out of it, they wouldn't be pursuing each other.
Thank you.
So I feel like there's always something that one person will be looking to get out of it that would determine whether, they see you as a suitable candidate or whatever. Yeah. So that's
like what you said, that your mom said. My dad said something similar. He always say, don't fall in love, stand in love. Right? And when I was a kid, I didn't understand that. Right? but after catching feelings a few times, I kind of understand what it means more. It's like you have to have certain values that you want, right? And you don't compromise on it to an extent. So it depends on what the transaction is. For some people, it's just money. For others, it's like, are you both Christians or are you both like, do you understand? Like some other things come into play. So it depends on what the transaction is. But yeah, it's always transactional, no matter how little.
Yeah.
But
Doesn't mean that
I would say for
just
yeah,
the thing. Just because it's transactional, that doesn't mean that it's bad.
That's true. Yeah.
no,
But then I think,
of course.
yeah. But then I
But
think it depends on what the person
I would
prioritizes.
say for yeah, I would say for us who grew up in I said grew up, who live UK, US, whatever, right? We have a little bit of different mindset, because one of the things I noticed for like when I first got to Canada, I noticed like a lot of the white guys and girls, they're couples, right? They don't really care about how much money it is. They're more concerned with how the guy treats me or how the girl talk. Do you understand? They are not really much concerned about the money aspect. Now, and I also noticed that after a while, us Nigerians, to an extent over there, when we start making like we're working, we're making money too, we get less concerned about how much, like you said, bringing to the table. Like they start getting less concerned with how much anybody is bringing to the table. It becomes more so, do I really like the person, or does the person like? Some people like I'm more introverted, right? So sometimes I would feel like maybe I want like someone that is more extroverted to complement my introversion, right? So that's what some people look out for. But back in Nigeria, I don't want to say like I'm putting down Nigeria, but to an extent back in Nigeria, dating is mostly finance first. Does he have the money?
Yeah.
And even for some guys too. Some guys they don't want to date, but they're looking at does she have money first? Because yeah, it's true. Oh, forget it. Like a lot of guys are looking to date girls that are rich. Like they don't
Wow.
want to. Yeah, it's true. It's happening a lot now, especially like yeah, I see it happening, especially like because some girls they like okay. Let me use even though it's a different case, but you can use Mr. Easy and $10 daughter.
$10, yeah.
Right? Even though Mr. Easy has his own money, but still, a lot of guys are jealous of Mr. Easy right now.
I
Just
mean, that's
because like he
billionaire.
might really rich. Yeah, he married a really rich girl. He's set for life. Like he doesn't have to stress. So like finance is a big thing in Nigeria. But it's not as if there isn't money in Nigeria. There's money. It's just more of I think it's a cultural thing also.
Yeah.
Right? With the bride price thing.
Yes.
I only know if they do bride price in UK right now, right? But in Nigeria, you must pay bride price.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I think to be honest,
it's
the
a
same,
cultural thing too.
like the same mentality is there. You see it more so like it's a sign of what's the word?
It's almost like she's a prize.
Yeah, no,
They're
and it's a reflection of your success.
Yeah.
So if you marry someone that is successful and rich, then it makes that family look good. Do you know what I mean? Like you wouldn't want to bring someone that's poor.
Yeah.
Like, it ruins your reputation. That's what I was looking for. It ruins your reputation.
Yeah.
So a lot of people would also bear in mind in Africa as well. I know it's probably the same in Nigeria as it is in Congo. You marry the family. So it's not just that, oh, the person is here to support. They're there to support the grandma, the uncles, the neighbors. Do you know what I mean? So it's also that's another reason why it is financial because everyone is benefiting, not just one person. Whereas here in the West, only one person is really benefiting from that relationship.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. No, it's normal. It's normal. So it's normal, but I think it's kind of toxic to an extent. Like even within my own family, sometimes I get irritated on like extended family members, right? And if you're entitled to whatever you have just because your mom married your dad, you understand? Like yeah, automatically they feel like you're supposed to come and take care of them, right? And you might not even have shit. Like right now, I don't have anything much because I'm still going to school. But I'll have like cousins that I don't really talk to them, but I know if I talk to them like that, they'll start asking me for money. Right? So it's normal. Finance is always a big thing in Nigeria.
Yeah, it
I feel
always
like even if Nigeria became like a top 10, which we will always be like that. I just don't really think it's going to change. It's a mentality thing to an extent.
yeah, definitely.
It's just the way society.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. The literally the last song that I heard something about this transaction, Charlie Poppy's song Cast.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
don't cast. Yeah.
Odumodu Black's verse, I don't want to say what he said because it might be vulgar, but he was basically saying that if a
Oh
woman
yeah. Yeah.
in paraphrase terms, he was basically saying that if a woman doesn't,
If she wants bags and
yeah,
wigs, right?
yeah, then she has to basically prostitute herself.
Yeah.
So that's just an example of, yeah, I just think it's a
Yeah.
mentality that will never go away. Literally, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Um,
like there's a huge sugar daddy culture in Nigeria, So there was a song also, like you said, there was a song I remember I had. It was like, my brother hustle, oh, because if you know hustle, you go to share your baby with a sugar daddy. My
mm,
sister hustle, because if you know hustle, you go to share your hobby with the sugar mommy.
Wow.
So like even guys are marrying for money. Even guys are marrying for money. Like it just is what it is.
yeah.
Like even I myself, I don't want to be. Well, I guess I'll just say it. Even I myself, but like if I was to bring a girl home to my mom and my dad, that the first thing they're gonna think of is not how fine she is. It's gonna be what family she comes from and
Mm,
Yeah.
how well they are doing, right? Because they will not want me to be stuck in like a family where they just leech off me, that kind of thing.
mm,
So I just it's just it's just a normal thing. I have a little sister, and I'll be one of the guys talking to the homies, talking about, oh, these girls, they just wanna, you know, eat our money, they don't really care. But it sounds hypocritical. But so it's like that's why I say it's a mentality thing. And to an extent we all kind of fit into it.
yeah.
Like my sister brings home a guy tomorrow. She's like 19, 20 now. Right now she's 14, but let's say she turns 20, 21, and she brings home a guy. First time I'm gonna ask is what was it doing for the I'm not gonna care how good. That's the first thing I'm gonna ask because I want to know if he's going to be able to take care of our well. It
Yeah.
sounds hypocritical because at the same hand, if I had a girlfriend tomorrow, I'll be complaining to my boys that yo, bro, she's always asking me for money for a week. She's always
Mm,
asking me for money to like do her nails and stuff.
Yeah.
But at the
yeah.
same time, it's just how it goes.
Yeah.
So it's always transactional.
Yeah.
I
Or,
just feel like if both partners communicate well,
mhm,
then it wouldn't feel one side. You can both give.
yeah.
As you give, as I give, you give. As I take, you take. Then
Yeah.
that's when it's cool.
Then it
But
should
when
be
it's one-sided, then
Yeah.
yeah,
Definitely. So we're gonna move on to a second question because of time. So, what
okay.
impact for online dating has had on dating? Yeah. So like online dating is obviously like dating apps like Tinder, Hinge, Bumble, uh,
Yeah,
Christian
that's
Mingle. I don't know any
I
other
haven't
one.
used it
No, but
Bum-
in-
Bumble.
yeah. I think I want to go
Yeah,
first actually on this one.
Mhm.
So for me, I've actually used online dating apps before. In uni, I used Tinder, but that
yeah,
was like for banter because I knew that Tinder wasn't a serious. It's not. They're not
yeah,
serious on there at all. And then obviously, in the past 2 years, I've tried Hinge, and I feel like first of all, one of the things that I've noticed about these apps is I think people have kind of become accustomed to interacting online as opposed to face to face.
Mm.
So I feel like because of the COVID era, a lot of the, normal physical interaction that we would do face to face has kind of
Yeah.
reduced dramatically. People are now more reliant on online apps to communicate. And I feel like the impact that that has had is it has caused a lack of confidence for a lot of people in terms of how they interact with each other. So let's say now, like for example, in Nigeria, you know that if a man likes a woman, he would literally come up to you. He'll maybe pull you by your clothes, and
Yeah.
do all those things. Like he would, yeah, you'll
Yeah.
know that he's interested and he wants to talk to you. Whereas now it's like in the UK, for you to even know if a guy likes you, it's so
That's an assault in the UK.
yeah, it's so difficult now. It's
Yeah.
almost like, I mean, the only place maybe you may know is maybe if you go out clubbing with your friends, or you go to a house
Yeah.
party, or you go to brunch, and maybe there's one guy across the room that's eyeing you, and you can tell that he's looking at you and you're looking, but you don't know what to do with it because
Yeah.
nobody has a sense of knowing how to
It's
interact,
just
how to,
you just feel so awkward.
exactly, it feels so
Yeah.
awkward. So I just feel like online dating apps has really reduced confidence on both sides, both for men and
Yeah.
and also another thing as
Yeah.
well, Bumble. So with Bumble, they actually allow the women to swipe right first. So they actually choose who they want to match with. So I feel like online dating has given a lot more power to women to decide who and
Yeah.
who they want
For
to talk
sure. Yeah.
and who is, considered an
I
eligible
would say
candidate.
I would say I would say you should add Instagram to online dating.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, like sliding into DMs and stuff. It's a lot of people these days are actually. I would say there's a lot of people that met their like girlfriends and probably even wives from Instagram. They just texted a random girl and then they hit it off. The thing about online dating is that it's tricky. I've actually met a few people that met on Tinder and they're doing well, but like most of the time the problem with Tinder is that people just think you just there to like do a one night stand and deep, you know?
Mhm.
That's both the girl thinks so, the guy thinks so. So it's like if I meet a girl tomorrow on the streets and I like her, right? I'm more likely to take her serious than if I met her on Tinder. She might have a Tinder profile and I wouldn't know, but I'll take her serious because I met her outside. But if I met her on Tinder, I'll just not like I must really, really like her to think I'll take her. Because I would the back of my head, I'll be like, not many guys, she's like matching me, like not many guys are like texting her and stuff. Why would she want me? You know, and that's where the self comes in because a lot of guys actually text girls a lot, right? And like you said, it favors women more to an extent because like guys make the first move more than like girls do, right? So it's like as a guy, you text a bunch of girls and you're just waiting to see if they'll text you back,
Mm.
right? And the girl, she gets like 20 texts and she's waiting to see the guy that will say something funny that she will reply back. Yeah, so it's like I feel like a lot of people do when I was in Canada. And a lot of times, a lot of profile I saw was always yet to make new friends, yet to make new friends, yet to make new friends. So, so a lot of people don't take it serious. But at the same time, some people actually do meet people on it. But like you said, it has to me, it has made dating way, way worse than it should be.
100%.
Right?
Yeah.
Especially, I don't even think Tinder. I think more so Instagram has made dating way worse than it should be.
I mean,
Yeah,
I agree with both of
it's
your
made it like
points.
harder for people to trust each other, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it was to do with confidence, right? That you said
Yeah.
how it's affected confidence. I mean, I've used Hinge, I've used
Yeah,
currently using Hinge now, and I think for me personally, I find that it has affected confidence. It's one of those things you just have to be patient with the app.
Mhm.
But also remember when you're going on online, when you're online dating, sorry, you're not seeing the person in real time. So there's like this added pressure. So if I'm obviously getting moved to someone in public, they know what they're dealing with head on in terms of like appearance. And one thing about women compared to guys, we are very judgmental. We like to say that we're not, but we're very judgmental. Even in the way that we approach the app, we look directly at a photo. And if a guy doesn't fit the standard, it's like, okay, I'm not matching, I'm not matching, I'm not matching. There's actually statistics on it that women are most likely to have like 1 or 2 matches, whereas men will have like 90 and plus. Like it is backed by statistics. But yeah, I'd say definitely it does affect your confidence because again, you're having to put a new persona to try and win this person. And you know when you're online dating, you're not competing with that with you don't know you're competing with so many people. There's so many people that seen that same profile that to go on that date with that person. And there's only so many dates you can go with each person. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I do think it's beneficial. I do think online dating has made things easier because where else are you going to meet them? Especially post the pandemic. Like people in the wild is so much more harder. It's not like it was like in the movies, oh, you go outside, someone looks at you, and then boom, that's your boyfriend or girlfriend. But people don't want to interact, people don't want to talk. So unless like you said, it's an organized event, it's intimate
That's why,
online.
yeah. Yeah, see, that's why I started watching all those rom-com movies because they're funny, but they kind of mess with your head. You know, you have this idea that you're just gonna like have this funny scenario where it never works like that in real life.
With
Yeah,
bamboo.
you're 100% right. But I have to commend you for like for being honest about women being like very judgmental. You know, like I have to commend you for that. But it's true to an extent. I mean, I'll say guys. Okay, guys have like a one-track mind, you know. So, I'll use myself as an example. When I was in that, my main mindset was like, because like I said, I've never actually been in a full relationship, but I was looking for like something fun, right? If you get what I mean. But so most of the times when I was fighting, you know,
Connection is
it
lagging.
was just based off looks. Is she cute? That's it. I remember I was talking to one girl and she was on Tinder and she was showing me like different guys that she was swiping. And I tell you, like she swiped more than like 100 times. And she even had like Tinder Plus and she swiped like more than 100 times. And I don't think she swiped right up to 5 times. Like over 100 guys, she swiped right up to like 5. Like she was like, she always find she would say he's cute. I like him, but is too this. And then she was so I don't like looking at her like, what is wrong with you? You know? But that's when and before I used to have this mindset that I don't know why girls are like that, but these days I realize no, it's just how God made it to be. But that to an extent fucks with a lot of guys' self-esteem, you know, because guys they look at it from standpoint of and like motivation to try out there, right? So I feel like online this fine, and she's on Tinder, you're on Tinder, and you've swiped right like 200 times, and you'll have like 3 matches, and out of your 3 matches, only one girl replied you, and she replied you said hi, she replied you hi, and then you said how are you, she reply again, right? But for the girl, she has like so many guys that you know on Tinder it shows this part where it's like it's to show people that liked you, but you can't check it on unless you have like Tinder Plus or something. Right? Yeah, so you see like over 100, 200 of that, and then you see how like that. If you have a female friend that close to you, you look at it and like you just feel like it's just not fair. So it spoils a lot of guys' self-esteem. And I'm not saying like it doesn't really spoil girls' self-esteem, but it does damage to an extent also because it overinflates like
The ego.
yeah, this is ego to an extent because some girls they start thinking every guy there actually wants to date them. But
Yeah.
most of the guys there, unfortunately, right? And then when they find out the hard way, it, they start feeling the type of way about men, right? but they forget they just have to go into the real world and just actually talk. If you don't really talk to someone much in person, when it's just like screen text, talk to, yeah, 9 out of 10, you just have a one-track mind, you know. But when a guy meets a girl in real life, he'll go from like, I know, like, okay, I know a few girls that I used to have crushes on, even back when I was in computer science, just because they looked really cute and fine and stuff, right? Well, I barely ever talked to them. Then there was like one or two girls that I talked to more, but I didn't really have crush at first on them based off looks. But from talking to them more, I started liking them more. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I feel like people just need to like actually talk to people more in person.
Mm-hmm.
That's and online dating kind of messes it up.
Yeah.
Because it messes it up. Like a lot of people just stay on their phone, and a lot of people be catfishing. You see pictures that like makes the girl look so fine, but she doesn't look like that. Then you see guys doing muscles and like
Bad profiles.
sort of things, doing abs. Like I even did it once. Like I feel like yeah, but after like as I got older, I look back, I just laugh. But as I go older, I'm like, damn, what am I doing? Like I'm doing all this, and
Yeah,
like if
because
she sees me in
attraction.
person, I try to have 10 abs, you know.
I
So
was, sorry, not to interrupt you, but I was going to say attraction is not always just the physical image.
Yeah.
That's why, like, when you go to a party and what's that thing they used to say when you had alcohol? Beer goggles. Huh? You know when you used to have alcohol and you were deceived. No, I don't know.
oh,
Oh, the term
okay, okay. I
like when
might
you have I can't, I think it's called beer goggles or whatever. But like when you approach someone and you're drunk
Hennessy,
and
Hennessy makes you see the 10.
yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah,
I didn't.
yeah.
That sort of thing.
Even just in
Yeah.
general, like even when you alcohol, even something that you don't, it's just the music, the mood, the light is low, all that kind of stuff. That makes you one completely different.
Yeah.
So they go from going to what you would think is a 6 to now a 10.
I get what you're
Mhm.
saying.
But you can't have that online.
Yeah.
Because even online, like we don't look the same when we take our pictures. You're there, it's angles, it's lighting, it's all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Even when you talk to the person, you put like that voice, the bedroom voice, whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
Like you use your whisper voice.
Yeah.
Everyone actually they're cackling. Do you know what I mean? So it's like online kind of distorts your image.
Yeah.
And it makes it difficult when you meet the person in real time. And that's why a lot of people actually, when they go online, they delay meeting the person in real life because they're so anxious
Yeah.
to see the real you,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And even I had to get into that habit of being like, if I'm talking to someone, see them as quick as possible. So I don't feel like I need to put on a different persona.
I agree, yeah. So this session is kind of running out.
Since I came home.
Yeah, so the session is running out of time because we don't have pro here.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah, let's move on to the next question.
yeah, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stop the recording and then basically start a
Okay.
new link again so we can finish off. Yeah, basically.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. Zoom is like, I think I have like 30 minutes. I don't know. Yeah, it does that a lot.
Yeah.
That's why I started using Google Meet.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right, no problem.
Yes, I will start this again.